Welcome back. The renders have all finished, and I suppose actually welcome to the next lesson in our Houdini mini course. So I had rendered all of these overnight. I think it took about 17 or 18 hours for everything to render, and we've got a nice high quality version actually of all 4 of our shots. So this here is probably my favorite of them all, and I believe cam 4 also might be my second favorite. So some great angles here, some nice, good looking depth of field. Everything turned out really well. Perhaps we could have done a few more samples, but for the purpose of this lesson, I think we've actually ended up with a really, really great result. And now by the time we've finished these whole lessons, you likely have actually seen the trailer for the course, which is also the intro and the outro for this video that you're watching now. And the end result of that trailer itself was all of these renders. I did a little mini edit together in After Effects to do some titles, a little bit of text, and then just to showcase some of the work that we were able to put together. So overall, I'm very happy. I hope you enjoyed going through this course. And the last thing we're going to do today is just a little bit of compositing. And I'll show you how to bring in our image, perhaps make some adjustments with an additive workflow, and then with a subtractive workflow for our rebalancing some of these lightings. So for now, I'm going to delete this, and we'll create a new file node. And I'll actually open up render, and we'll do HD Cam 1. We'll load that in, and then I'll switch my scene view over to composite view. I could close down my geometry spreadsheet and make a little bit more room. And then let me set my ACES tone mapping. So this is my HD render, and we have done this a little bit before, so I'll move relatively quickly. But I have add AOVs from file, which is now going to bring in all of these EXR layers that I had created on my output. And if I go to my null, I can take a look at each of these individual ones. So this is my overall beauty pass of everything combined. This is the HDRI light, so the contribution we had set up with our LPE tags. This is the side area light, the main rectangle light, and then the rim light as well. So if we were to combine these together, we might use an over node. I'll combine my HDRI with my area light, set this to add, duplicate this over as well. And perhaps actually before I add these together, I can name these nulls. So this is area, rim light area. I'll delete that null actually, or excuse me, that over. This will be middle, highlight, area, left, and HDRI. So as we combine these back together, we may use a HSV adjust or really any of the COPS nodes if we wanted to make a little bit of adjustments. So maybe I want to bring down the contribution of this HDRI light, so I could decrease this value. I'll color this one maybe yellow. And perhaps I'll do a similar HSV adjust for all 4 of these render layers, and then we can merge them together with a over. And we'll actually change this mode to add. And for the purposes of our mini YouTube course here, this will be fine for balancing and perhaps resetting some of the intensities of these lights. But technically, this would not be the most correct workflow, that we could set up. So blending and adding these beauty renders does not give the exact same correct image. If I disable this actually, this HSV, which reduced it, I could compare it to my original combined beauty, which would be C here. This is original. This is recombined. And I can use one single switch to look at the difference. So I'll set my display flag on this switch. So right now I'm looking at the original image and then the recombined image. It actually does look very similar, but you will notice on the recombined image, we do not have any denoising. And that is because we had denoised just this layer rather than this main beauty layer rather than all of the individual AOVs. So we could use a denoise if we wanted to plug back in our optics denoiser, and perhaps that could be done after we merge everything back together. So if I put that on the bottom, shake here to disconnect, connect that to the bottom, then I can compare. And these actually look nearly identical. So then to make those additional changes to some of these lights, we can just modify the adjustments for these individual layers before they are added back in. So maybe I can decrease this HDRI. Maybe this side light, I'll increase the value to 2. Maybe even to 3. Maybe this middle light here, it could be 0.5. Maybe 0.25. And if I did want to tint this, I could use a bright node. And maybe I'll bring in a little bit of orange. Or actually perhaps blue might look cool. And then I'll set my display flag on bright. And let's take one quick look at, I think this is the top right light, and here we go. And maybe I'll increase the value of this one to 2. And I can now compare the original to the new recombined image we have here. And we can get a nice and different result. So in this case, perhaps our light was too bright when we increased the value down here. And that's one more thing to be aware of. You don't want to add too much brightness back into your image. So you want to balance if you do make some adjustments here. And this is a nice handy way to create some changes after we had rendered that. And I actually kind of do like this. Maybe I could increase back up my HDRI. And if we had wanted to do additional compositing, we could have done individual masks for each of these objects. So it could be a cryptomat, which is a object cryptomat or a material cryptomat, or we could have done just a manual AOV defining any of these attributes or any of the material properties as well. But that's going to be out of the scope for this YouTube course. And the last thing we might want to do is if I go here, compare this final image, I might want to do a ROP image output. Move this to the side. And I'll say export me. And then I'll drag this null into the cop path. And I could save this by going render frame range and render to disk. And I'll actually let this finish and then come back and take a quick look at it once it's done. Welcome back. The export had actually finished. It took about 1.5 minutes. And now we can see I've got my full animation here correctly exported and recolored with the same coloring that I had here within my compositing network. So this is a quick way if you want to adjust perhaps some of the light coloring, some of the intensities of the lights, or even modify just a little bit the look and the overall style without having to re-render any of your images, because this did take quite a while to render. So that's actually going to be the end of this section of the video. I can hit U to go up, jump back into my scene view, and that's going to be kind of the end of the course. We've covered a lot, and I really do hope if you made it this far within the course, you learned a lot. I'm going to hit U to go back up one more time. We kind of started with our original plan broke it down using the client stage, director stage, and pipeline manager stage from our core loop within the Node Navigator blueprint. And this framework really does help as you start working on bigger and bigger projects. Breaking them down and organizing them in this way is something that has helped me get a lot better with Houdini and also be a lot more efficient and well intentional, I suppose I could say, with my projects. Makes them a lot more fun and enjoyable to complete. So we did quite a bit inside here. Did our setup for the whole pegboard. We prepared this for a RBD simulation, did some animated, some packed geometry, and then we did a few tricks actually that would be more intermediate or even advanced, you could consider them. So some proper optimization for our RBD workflows. We talked a little bit about the proxy geo using higher resolution geometry for rendering and then a lower resolution even for our actual simulation. And then we set up a workflow for the SOP level solver for two of the options, of the many options actually. Whoops. Looks like we've got a crash here. So I'll actually end this or cut this, then I'll be right back once I've restarted Houdini. Welcome back. Apologies for that quick cut. We are back within Houdini. Everything seems to be working fine and we didn't lose anything, which is awesome. But we were just talking about our DOP setup here for our simulation. We had done our SOP level solver and then two approaches to setting up a DOP.NET from scratch. One where I'm going to cancel this so my simulation doesn't start. One where we put every DOP object, or every RBD object rather, within a single packed object. And a second one where we split it out, one for the marbles and one for the not marbles. So as simulations get bigger and as project needs get a little bit more specific, sometimes having the flexibility of setting these networks up from scratch is something that's really helpful to do. But the approach, whether you choose to use DOP networks created yourself or the SOP level solver, is entirely up to you. So thank you again for following along. I ask if you did enjoy the course, then please leave some thoughts below in the comments. If you have feedback or ideas for future projects, perhaps those could be cool to hear. And then if you completed it, I'd love to see what your final result was. So maybe send me an email or link below your video if you did finish it and upload it somewhere for anyone to see. So awesome. Thank you. That'll be all, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.